Merry Christmas, boys and girls. In this video, I'm going to show you how to repair moderate to minor dents in a gas tank and a fuel tank for a motorcycle using PDR. And this will only work for minor and moderate. So what is minor? Minor, I would say, is like a small ding, maybe this big, maybe that far in. Moderate would be something like this. And then anything beyond this belly, I would say would require a little bit more of a delicate touch, probably welding, probably opening up the fuel tank from the bottom, which I will have in a different video. But in this video, we're gonna see if we can pop out this dent. I bought this tank as is. This was the price I paid for it. So when purchasing a fuel tank, one of the things you have to absolutely look out for is that there's no rust inside the tank. In this case, that is not rust, that's actually paint. It looks like the paint that came from the person trying to paint the outside exterior rubbed off in the interior as well. Now, why don't you want rust inside of the gas tank? Well, it's because if there's a leak, they're a huge pain in the butt to fix. And I mean huge. So hands-on from experience, you do not want even the smallest bit of rust in there. A little explanation of how you can remove a dent like this out. So when removing any dent, what you have to absolutely make sure is that you go in the reverse order of the dent occurred, okay? Be pulling the outside first, and then the inside. Up, rise it up, and then finally pop from the middle. All right, boys and girls, so basic tools for the job. Obviously, you're gonna need a glue gun. I use Goo-gone, which has the benefit of don't have to use very much of it to remove the sticky stuff. It helps clean up the mess afterwards. And all you basically do is, instead of using alcohol, you will remove as much of it as you can with the heat gun and then spray this off at the end, combining heat and this to remove with cloth any remaining sticky mess. This is the sliding hammer I recommend you use for this job. And again, only use the metal PDR tabs or whatever these things are called, right? Never ever use the plastic ones. They're just not going to be strong enough and they will break on you. So metal only. And ideally get one that's a little bit bigger if you can than this one for a dent that size, okay? Next up, basic tools here. I mean, you don't need the whole kit. These are the basic stuff you need. And then obviously a heat gun to heat the surface and the crease here, sorry. Next up, make sure to get a weighted down belly. So use whatever you have available to you to secure this down. I have an anvil here, and I'll be using my feet to hold it from the other side, but use whatever you have. Which brings me to the next point, which is a lot of people say that you cannot do this, and I just want to show those people who maybe they just don't know how to do PDR, or maybe they just don't want to try it, they've heard bad things. It's that it is indeed possible, and it's possible to get decent results doing it, so hence I'm making this video. So next up, we're going to heat up this surface, and then I'm going to clean it with alcohol. So what we're working on is steel, and steel becomes soft at roughly 500 degrees Celsius. So this one right here brings us up to a temperature of 350. So to get it actually hot enough around the crest, we're going to need more than just a glue gun. The glue guns are good enough for just getting us started. So I'm going to probably get a torch, and we'll heat up the crease over here with a torch, quickly moving around the torch to allow it to heat up to around 500 degrees. In around 500 degrees, the paint should start to burn, so that's why it's important to really be careful. Meanwhile, we got the glue gun over there attached to my power bank, and we're just going to wait for that glue gun to warm up, which it looks like it has. All right, so now I brought my my oxygen rig at home. That's an oxygen concentrator. It makes oxygen. I found it was a cheaper alternative than buying each of those for 15 minutes of use each time. So those bottles go for about 30-40 bucks Canadian. And it gives you 15 minutes of brazing time. This one gives you unlimited, basically a lifetime of brazing for $300. So you do the math. If you're maybe doing enough brazing, it's going to pay off to have one of these units. And so yeah, I made a 3D print over there of the holder there using my 3D printer. And finally, we got some map gas, which I'll be using to heat around the crease, just to help speed things up a bit. be using a neutral flame, obviously. Oxygen feeds in from here into here, which I have actually just hot glued and then applied some epoxy over top of, and that holds a nice seal. And now we're going to get a buildup of oxygen pressure. I got it at 93% grade oxygen. I'll just wait 5-6 minutes and it'll fill up and pressurize. We should have about 15 psi of pure oxygen. What I have making here is I'm using Mesh Mixer and a 3D printing, basic free 3D printing software called Tinkercad. And I made here a little bit of a, basically it's a wall mount for my spark plug holder, which should go in my garage. So, looking forward to that. A little bit of ethyl alcohol here. And maybe fiber towel. Just gonna heat it up so that any, let's say, dirt or debris, any
sorts of dusts and debris,
with the heat, it helps with the cleanup. Use automotive grade plastic. There you go. There you have it. That should make a huge difference in the stickiness. How this is going to work is that we're going to put the tap right here. Now, what's going to happen is the hot glue becomes very, very sticky at a certain temperature. I don't know what that temperature is, but at that particular temperature, no matter how hard you pull on this thing, the glue will not let go of the surface of the metal, and therefore you can bang out the dent. Now, how do you know once you've reached that temperature? Typically, what happens is that the glue starts to become cloudy. That's the trick. So as soon as you see that it's still a little bit warm, but the clearness of the hot glue becomes cloudiness, that's when you can start hitting it. After it gets colder and colder, this will start to pop off. Once it pops off, then you have to restart. Clean up with a heat gun and restart the whole process, warming the crease, etc. All right, so here's the first pass. Just gonna spread it evenly around, generously. The faster you do it, the better the results. Lots and lots and lots there. All right, just gonna stick that right in the center. I'm gonna push, push, push. Sure, I see that. Just like that. It's not really going to do it quickly, so I'm going to get my tap gas here.
2 liters.
That and add the oxygen here. So that was a little bit too hasty. That's already causing burns here. It's too much oxidation. Still a bit of carburizing flames. So like that, you can see the crease is heated up, but the actual middle part is not that hot. So that's exactly what we want. think I made it a little too hot. Okay, well, oh wow, that is really hot. Get some blueberries here, hopefully that'll help cool it. Alright, that's it. Alright, let's give it a shot. It's starting to get cloudy. I'm going to put my foot over top. Let's give it a good pull. See that? And there it goes. That's already out a little bit more. Did you guys see that? Holy shit. Good pull. See that? So here's how she looks after that. So you can see I use a bit of a carburizing flame, but no problem. Some of that's just going to come right off with a little bit of towels. Okay, I guess not, but still, it was due for a paint job anyway, so I don't care about that. But look at that guy, Belly, look at that. Oh my goodness, just the difference. Like I brought that out almost 50% in one shot. So we do this one more time, I'm sure we can get the whole thing, the whole dent is out after just two PDR pulls. All right, so to clean this up, you got two options. You can either use alcohol and try to cleanly remove that, pry it away, or you can use a heat gun, melt it, and then wipe it off with a towel. I'm actually going to try the alcohol method. I think it'll be a little bit quicker. Okay, so I take that back. The alcohol didn't work too great, so I'm just going to use a heat gun. I'll tell you what we'll be doing. The heat gun, you're just going to heat it up nice and hot. Notice how it turns black. And this PDR glue is only good for one run because the minute you reuse it, it just loses the chemical property of adhesiveness. It still works, but it's not as good as the first time you use the glue. Plus, it's not very expensive, this stuff. Just wipe off as much of it as you can. All right. Now that's good. Let's get the rest of it off with the Goo-gone, but what you're going to need to do is continue to heat it up. It's a little bit of a struggle, but it does pull it off, so. All right, we're just gonna blast it with a little bit of alcohol here. Just remove this by hand now. As much as we can, we've cleaned up the surface and we're gonna go for round two. And hopefully that'll be the end of it. You see already half of the dent is out. This time we're going to try to move it a little bit closer to the crease here. See what happens there. Like that's nice and good. Heating up the crease around here. You see the crease actually is right over here now and passing around circles. So we got a perfect circle, but the majority of the dent is on this side, so I have it a little bit more towards this crease here. Plus, if I pull this too much, I don't really care because this is already the paint shot on this. So I know from experience that this is where I want to be every time when I pull, and I know that the dent is deeper on this side, I will place my puller deeper on this side. All right, let's see what happens. A little bit. All right, the cloudiness is formed. Let's give that a shot. Boom. We missed a little bit over here. We got most of it out, but still a little bit over here. Damn it. Oh well, third time's the charm. Yeah, baby. All right, boys, for this last one, I'm gonna get the camera extra close so you can see what's happening. Got a little bit of cold ice or whatever you want to have. I'm using blueberries, but just cool down the tab itself. That'll help it reach that cloudiness a little bit quicker. I can see the cloudiness is starting to form. See, it's going to get whiter in a few seconds. At this point, I'm going to take out my torch, just heat up the surrounding metal a bit. Use a neutral flame here. It sounds a little bit oxidized. Especially along this crease here is super important to get nice. All right, and that's it ready to pull now. Attach this here. Apply pressure a little bit at a time. It's not quite ready yet, actually. Just a few more seconds. Let it really cool down now. All right, here we go. And that's it. The dent is out. Looks like I got all of it. Yeah, I would say that's good enough for me. The rest of it I can get with Bondo. A little bit over here still, but that's it, boys and girls. That's how you use PDR on a gas tank. Now, if you wanted to avoid these burn marks, you could easily do that by not using a torch. If you use a heat gun, it'll work, but it's slower. Plus, I don't really care because I was going to paint the tank anyway. So, yeah. So here's the final product. You can see there's still a little ding here. If I really wanted to, I would go at it belly with one more round, but honestly, I'm happy with the results as they are. And a little bit of Bondo or putty, or maybe I'll fix it later. I don't know what I'll do, but I just want to show you guys the tutorial. You can see the ding right there. But apart from that, the rest of the tank, the dent is out. So you guys can take a look at that from multiple angles. The dent is fully out now. And once this is painted, it's going to look brand new. So there you go. That's how you use PDR. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this.